So just to recap here, starting for the Highland Huskies in the front row is Allie Stokes, Jenna Dresselhaus, and Kelsey Hora. Starting in the back row, Murphy Beinhardt, Brianna Davis, and Sydney Black.
And starting for Mediapolis, I'm not sure how they're going to go out there for the rows yet first. You know, Monica Edel will have the setting duties. I was going to say both teams are still
in their little circles in the middle, waiting for the referees to say, let's get the show on the road and get in your spots.
And for Mediapolis in the front row, we have Kara Brown, Sarah Vorwerk, and Allie Massner. In the back row, Ashley Mockholz, who will go out for the Libera, Brianna Eberhardt, Kendra Whitty, and Monica Edel. And it looks like to me, I would say Mediapolis has the first serve.
Yep. Whitty, correct? That's
yes.
how I say that. Whitty will be serving for Mediapolis. Start the night off here at Highland. Ball is up, over, passed by Beinhardt. Sends it right back over to Meepo. And number 7, Massner, puts it right back over, and Highland can't handle it for the first point for Mediapolis here tonight. Whitty, once again with the serve. Ball is up, over, passed by Black. Davis to Dresselhaus, who free balls it over. Whitty to Edel, outside to Massner with the hard line, but Davis is there to Dresselhaus. Allie Stokes puts it down. Whitty is there. Edel outside to Sarah Vorwerk for the kill. Drops it down right in front of Murphy Beinhardt.
That was a back set too, so that might have thrown off the defense a little bit for Highland.
Did I say that right? Vorwerk?
Vorwerk.
Vorwerk. All right, we're getting good. Edel with the serve once again and drops it for an ace for Mediapolis. Right off the arms of Murphy Beinhardt on the Highland side. Mediapolis goes up 3-0 here in the first set on this wonderful Thursday night.
And Whitty comes into the game with a 96% serving percentage, and you can see that tonight.
That makes sense, as she gets another ace there for Meepo.
Yeah. Mediapolis takes a 4-0 lead.
Whitty once again with the serve for Mediapolis. Ball is up. Over. Kelsey Hora's there. Davis pushes it deep back over to Meepo's side. Whitty sends it back over. Stokes sends it over for Highland. And Mediapolis pushes it over to Highland. Davis to Dresselhaus. Outside to Hora, who is blocked. Dresselhaus there. Stokes with the free pass over. Bump, set, and outside to Massner. Hora there for the ball. Stokes pushes it over for Highland. Meepo's there with the quick set from Brown, but Meepo's there. Highland sends it back over by Stokes. Whitty to Edel, outside to Massner, off the hands of Beinhardt. Black hustles, Beinhardt follows her and just can't get it over the net. That was a great hustle by Highland.
That was a great volley, that was.
Yep, Mediapolis comes out on top with that as they get the 5th point of the game. Highland with nothing right now.
And Allie Massner had that attack. I'm trying to see how many. She has 107 kills for the season.
As we're talking there, Whitty with the serve, and Sydney Black sends it back over to Massner, who slams it down for a kill. 6-0 in favor of Mediapolis. Whitty with the serve, ball's up. Hora with the pass to Davis, outside to Allie Stokes, and just can't get it over the net. Looks like that set was a little too far outside, and Allie Stokes couldn't quite get it over the net.
So a timeout there by Highland.
Coach Rath takes a timeout before this game gets too ugly, as Mediapolis is up pretty quick here, 7-0 in the first set, Kim. So
they're doing a good job serving, it seems like. But, I mean, there were some volleys that were long. Both sides were going well with the ball, but just had some attack errors, it seems like, on the Husky side. Absolutely. And I was at Columbus Tuesday night, and nothing against Columbus, but it's been tough coming from playing Columbus and playing you guys, because Highland easily took 3 from them and didn't get a lot of kills or a lot of hard hits back at us. So now we have to be prepared to play defense against Mediapolis tonight. And it's homecoming week. Right? Everybody's tired. Whitty with the serve. Hora to Davis. Black with the pushover. Whitty to Edel with the quick. I think they're going to call that was a bad set there, and it was really spinning when it came off her hands. So Edel trying to set a quick to Brown in the middle, and she came off with 2 hits. Hora was serving for Highland. Ball is up, over, Brown to Edel, in the back to Massner. A quick back set there. Oh, I thought that hit the ground. I did too. Well, the floor, I should say. Either way, I guess. They're going to call it a lift on Highland. Mediapolis gets the point. So side out for Mediapolis. That gives the Bullets an 8-1. Oh dear, did she hurt herself
quiet.
when she
and
went
Hora is
down?
down on the court right now. I don't quite know what happened. I think she kind of got hit in the face a little bit there. Her eyes are a little red. Everybody, all the Highland people listening right now, if they hear me say Hora's down, she's a stellar athlete. So anybody is like, oh no, what happened to her? Because she's our point guard, she's our center fielder, always gets on base in softball, is our point guard, always runs for basketball, does everything for volleyball.
Athlete.
Yeah.
And how old is she?
She's a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelsey Hora started softball as an 8th grader and has started varsity in every sport as a freshman since she was a freshman. So she's a great athlete. As we're talking there, Massner gets a ace serve as she's going to serve again here for Mediapolis. Ball's up and
Probably
over.
has a jump serve there too.
Yeah.
I think that can be intimidating to the other team, but
Absolutely.
it probably
bump set and spike for Mediapolis. Brianna Davis is there for the defense, pushes it outside from Dresselhaus to Cindy Black, and she puts it in the net. And yeah, as we're talking, Massner has a really nice jump serve there. It's not anything too hard, and it's always, I would say, it looks like it's pretty consistent too.
Her sister last year, Darby, was one of the best setters I know for the Mediapolis team, or excuse me, servers for the Mediapolis team.
Edel outside to Brown, who tips it over. Davis is there to Dresselhaus. Stokes in the middle, and Stokes drops it short. Whitty can't get there for Mediapolis, and that's a kill finally for Highland there as Highland gets the side out. That's the second point for Highland as Mediapolis has 10. As we're talking, Olivia Allen comes in the back row for Allie Masner on the Mediapolis side.
And Stokes has 77 kills for the season, it looks like.
Dresselhaus serving, and she puts it in the net for Highland. And when you're down by quite a few points there, the last thing you want to do is give the other team a side out on a serve in the net. We have Vorwick serving for Mediapolis. Ball's over to Davis. Davis puts it in the net, and Highland can't get it out of the net. I'll give that an ace serve. There's only one touch on that. I'll say that's an ace there for Vorwick. That'll be nice. We'll say that's an ace.
The stats later might not agree with that.
Whatever. Vorwick with the serve. Carolyn to Black. Beinhart pushes it over. Vorwick to Edel. Outside to Brown with the hard hit. Comes off the block. Beinhart's there. Black outside to Davis. And Davis kind of whiffs a little bit. Gets her hand on the ball, but she sends it sailing out of bounds. So that's another point for Mediapolis.
I thought it went off a block, so I was surprised our girls weren't trying to dive for it.
Vorwick with the serve. Carolyn to Dresselhaus. In the middle to Sydney Black with the kill.
What a good spot. You couldn't have hit that ball in any more perfect spot. Right in the corner.
Deep corner there, and Mediapolis was sucked in for a short kill because that's usually what Black does, and she sends it deep on that one. Emily Stewart coming in to do some libero work. Serving, Stewart. Ball is over. Bump set, and
that was a nice block
Holtz
by
hits
Highland.
it hard, and Bailey Harmston and Brianna Davis shuts Mac Holtz down and blocks her, and that's another point for Highland. 13-4 here in the first set.
Really nice net play there by Highland.
Absolutely. Serve by Stewart. Ball's up, over, Whitty to Edel, back to Brown. And she sends it in the same corner that Black hit it for Highland, but on the opposite side for Whitty, and she gets a point and side out for Meepo as they're up 10 points here, 14-4 in the first set here at Highland High School. Brown serving for Meepo. Carolyn's there to Dresselhaus, outside to Bailey Harmston, and doesn't quite snap her wrist, and she sends it sailing out of bounds for another point for Mediapolis.
And Brown always, she's clear on the other side of opposite where I think you should be for serving. I know they can move all over the court now, but and she has kind of a somewhat a modified jump serve as well.
And as we're doing that, she gets an ace serve. She sends it over, and it comes off Cindy Black's arms and goes sailing out of bounds on the Mediapolis side. So 16-4 here in the first game in favor of Mediapolis. Brown with the serve. Black to Dresselhaus to Davis, and Mac Holtz returns the favor to Davis and blocks Davis. So Mac Holtz had a hard hit, and Davis blocked her a couple plays ago, and then Davis just swung hard, and Mac Holtz decided to block hers, and she got blocked. So that was a great play by Mac Holtz there for Mediapolis. 17-4. Brown with the serve, nips off the net and drops in. Now, those are hard. Those are always hard to get. Hit off the net, and it dropped right in front kind of caught the Highland players on their heels because they thought it was coming hard at them.
And when I coached years ago, you couldn't even touch the net. So of course that was before rally serving
it was the
too.
Same thing. I think it changed while I was in high school.
Okay.
So it was the same thing. I played about half and half with it. You couldn't touch the net, and then all of a sudden you could. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Because I usually hit the net, so I was like, this is great.
And sometimes it can really fool them when they don't know if it's going to go over, and then it just flips over.
Right. So as we're talking here, Highland called another timeout because they're down 4-18. Obviously in favor of Mediapolis if Highland is the down team. Coach Rath calls another timeout, hoping to get things figured out for her team and get a couple points in at least so this game doesn't look quite as bad. Well, we're going to resume play here as Brown still serving for Meepo. Ball is up and over. Carolyn is there to Dresselhaus, and Dresselhaus sends it over and serves it up to Edel, and Edel puts it down for the Mediapolis Bulldogs. It's one thing Highland, I think, needs to work on a little bit is they're putting a lot of their bumps right up on the net and kind of serving up Mediapolis just to spike it down.
It's wonderful. You don't have to wait for the set on our side if it's up right there.
Exactly. Edel with the serve. Stewart to Dresselhaus to Harmson, and Allen is there to Edel. Outside to Whitty. Carolyn's there for Highland. Dresselhaus. The back court roll by Carolyn, and Meepo's there, sends it back over. Highland sends it back over to Meepo, and Edel with the quick to Mackholtz. And we got all right, that was on the floor for Highland, but I was watching when Mackholtz came down. Her and Davis kind of got their feet tied up, but there was no net call either way. But Mackholtz's hit came down for a kill and a point for Meepo.
Okay, she looked disappointed when she came down too. Maybe she thought there was going to be a net call because I thought.
And that's what it was. I saw both of them go down. I don't know which one was under the net, or maybe both of them kind of were. That's always a tough thing about volleyballs. Ooh, those ankles, I tell you. Serving is Black for Highland as they got the Highland got the side out on that play there. And then by a net serve by Brown, as we were talking. Then Black just served, and Mediapolis tried to set it up, and Mackholtz put it in the net. So that's another point for Highland. 6-20 in favor of Mediapolis. Sydney Black with the serve once again. Brown to Edel, and Edel snakes it over there. Highland ready for it. Davis pushes it back over to Highland. Brown to Edel to Mackholtz, and Mackholtz tips it right in the corner where there's no Highland player for another point. And that was a great spot there by Mackholtz. And as we're talking here, Eberhardt comes in the back row for Mackholtz, excuse me.
Did Hora ever come back into the game?
She's not back in yet, no. So Black come from the serve there. Highland sends it over. Libero with the pass. Nice cross there. Edel to number 15, Whitty with the cross from middle to right. Nice hard spike there and gives a point to Mediapolis as Mediapolis is up 22-6 here in the first set. Eberhardt with the serve for Meepo. Ball is up and over. And Emily Stewart kind of ducks out of the way, and Black tries to hustle for that and gets an ace serve for Eberhardt. 23-6. This game is, unfortunately for me, good for you, Kim. This game's going really quick. Eberhardt.
Well, in one respect, if it gets done earlier, you will be able to take that nap that you were talking about
earlier. Get to bed a lot earlier.
I can drive home. That was a nice kill by Highland there. And is it number
Bailey Harmson,
17?
The one who sang the national anthem for us. She's really improved over the year. I would say I watched a little bit of volleyball last year. She didn't get a lot of varsity time because we had a lot of seniors. And she's came in this year, and she's had some of the hardest kills by Highland that I've seen this year so far.
And only being a sophomore, you'll get to look forward to her for 2 more years.
Absolutely. Serving for Mediapolis is Edel. Ball's up and over. Game point. Stewart puts it in the net, and Davis can't quite get her fingertips on it, and that is game point for Meepo. So here in the first set, Mediapolis wins 25-7.
When she made it on base, she was always a threat for stealing because of her
Absolutely.
speed.
You knew she was going to steal. I'm surprised she didn't get out more just because, she's going to go. And the head coach for softball, she's like, I can't send her the first pitch anymore because now they're ready for it now. I don't want her to get out because of that. But everybody in the conference who has played against Highland definitely knows the name Kelsey Hora, or Peanut, as everybody calls her, because she's about 5'5", maybe.
Okay. She has the serve for Highland. Mediapolis passes the ball, gets it to Whitty, and she tries for attack, and I think that one's right down the line and falls in for a kill, so Mediapolis will have a side out.
drop behind Hora, and that doesn't happen very often. She kind of smiled when that dropped for a point.
Woody back to serve for Mediapolis, hits the net and comes over. Highland, we have a whistle. I believe maybe they were called for a lift. I didn't actually see that. It looked to me like they were getting ready to run their offense and get the ball over. So 2-0 lead for Mediapolis. Woody gets it across the net, and it goes hard. The first pass goes out of bounds, and they're chasing it around, so it falls for another Mediapolis point.
Typing in our scores here so that the conference knows what's going on.
Mediapolis has another serve by Woody. It comes back to Hora, but she passed it, was trying to pass it, but it went out of bounds. So I would say an ace serve.
Yep, I agree with that. I'd agree with that.
4-0 lead for Mediapolis. Here it comes to Hora again. Highland getting some offense out of it. The kill attack, though, just rolls down the net but doesn't fall over. That was by number 8.
Yep,
is it
Sydney Black?
Okay.
Yep.
So she just didn't have the right angle there. Otherwise, I think it would have fallen on the Mediapolis side. Oops. That one comes off the arms wrong. Another Woody ace serve there. It makes the score 6-0. Seems like she's hitting the same spot in the back row here between Hora and Carolyn. Now, just as I say that, she hits it on the other side.
She must have heard you. You texted her. She heard you.
She should have stayed where she was at because that one goes out of bounds. So side out for Highland. And we have number 25, Dresselhaus, back to serve for Highland. She has kind of a modified jump serve there, too.
She does.
Mediapolis' Vorwerk gets the ball over with a fist. Really no offense for Mediapolis. Trap ball back and forth. Massner hits the ball over. Highland free balls it. Edel sets it to Massner. Hora, that's a nice dig by Hora there. They're getting offense out of it. Number 22.
Allie Stokes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got you. No problem. Allie Stokes with the kill for Highland there. Hora with the great dig and great pass to Dresselhaus, who has the set to Stokes, and Stokes gets a kill from the middle.
And if I remember right, last game I think Stokes was the first player to get the first Highland kill.
That she was.
Game 1.
Freshman, too.
Dresselhaus, that was a good serve. It just dropped off at the bottom there. Brown gets a nice hand on it, but goes right down the line. But unfortunately for Mediapolis, fortunately for the Huskies, it goes out of bounds. So
that was a nice hard hit, just about 6 inches more over, and that would have been a kill.
So 6-3 lead for the Huskies, with Dresselhaus still behind the line. Serving, she tries hitting the corner, back corner, but it goes out of bounds. So side out for Mediapolis.
And I'm gonna correct you for a minute. It's 7-3 in favor of Meepo. You said 6-3 in favor of Highland. Mediapolis is winning right now. See, well, you were reading, for home. You're used to saying home for Meepo. I understand.
Well, thanks for letting me off on that one, but no.
I want to get all the Highland fans excited. Yes, we're winning. I'm like, I'm sorry. Mediapolis is winning 8-3.
Do we have Massner back to serve for Mediapolis? Now it's 8-3 Mediapolis. Mm-hmm. That was a high pass there. It must have come off somebody's arm wrong. That was Beinhardt? No. Davis had a nice attempt. And I'm way behind the action here, folks. Sorry about that. Number 22. Stokes again has a nice kill attempt. Mediapolis. We have a nice long volley going on here. Kara Brown gets it just where the defense isn't, so it drops for another Mediapolis point.
Massner, I'd have to say, if I was looking at Meepo stats right now, I would guess that Massner has quite a few blocks for Mediapolis. Would you have to agree with that, or maybe not? Mac Holtz, I mean.
Mac Holtz, yes, Mac I would agree with that.
Excuse me, Mac Holtz.
That's all right. So that one's another ace serve for Allie Massner. It goes off the arms of number 6, Brianna Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still very impressed with how you knew all the names. I feel like I'm really just stumbling right around over here. Allie Massner has the serve. Passes by Highland, number 22. Stokes is just going to free ball it over.
Ooh.
Vorwerk just dumps it off there across the net. Some diving bodies, but it falls to the floor for a Mediapolis point.
Mediapolis up 11-3 here in the second set as they took the first one.
Masters up with the serve, comes across. Number 6, Davis passes it. Back set there by Highland by Dresselhaus. I think they call number 22, was it Stokes?
Yep, so Dresselhaus tried to set up Stokes and put it right on the net. Stokes tried to save it, and they're calling Stokes in the net there.
I don't really see the net moving very much. I don't know for
don't know either. That's why we're up here, Kim, and the referee's going to be down there. That's what I always say. They get to make those hard calls. Davis with the hard hit. The Mediapolis sends it back over. Hora flies for it in the back corner and can't get anybody to follow her with it, and she sends it back over as Rath calls a timeout for Highland, as Highland is trailing 3-13 here in the second set.
And I got caught just watching the game and not doing what I was supposed to be doing. Should we run through some of our sponsors?
Absolutely.
Does that sound great?
Yeah.
For the Dogcast, we have Fast Break, MTC Technologies, and Meepo Foods.
Oh, you want me to go ahead? All right. We have for Highland, MMS Consultants, Midwest Frame and Axle, and Stewart & Sons.
For the Dogcast, Myers Construction, Mediapolis Savings Bank, Osborne Plumbing.
For the Husky Cast, Todd Hahn Construction, Kruger Auto Sales, and Farmers Co-op.
USG, DMC Mutual Insurance Association, and Morning Farm Implement are supporting the Dogcast.
And for the Husky Cast, once again, the Sharon Telephone Company, the Highland Athletic Booster Club, and DuPont Pioneer.
Hawkeye Pettershop, Serve Pro, Two Rivers Bank and Trust.
HD Klein Equipment, Eastern Iowa Geothermal, and Murphy's Bar and Restaurant.
B&B Construction, Agraway Partners, Mediapolis Athletic Boosters.
And we'll read the rest of them here the next time out, perhaps.
Back to the action. Master has a serve. It goes out of bounds. Huskies, Hora, she gets it over from the back row. Free balls it over. Mediapolis chasing it all around. They have to free ball it over. Highland will get some offense there. We have a kill attempt there by Black. Somebody's in the net. I believe it's Mediapolis, so side out.
And I saw the referee hold up number 1, so Vorwerk there, they're calling her in the net, trying to block Davis as she went up for an attempt.
So Mediapolis has a 13-4 lead. Highland Stokes is back to serve. The serve goes to Whitty. She gets the ball over. Just kind of defensively, Davis puts it back over. It's back on the Highland side. Davis has a kill attempt there. And what was somebody from Mediapolis?
They called Mac Holtz there trying to block Davis's hit, and they're called Mac Holtz into the net. So that's another point for Highland.
They're creeping up. Olivia Allen has the serve reception there. Mediapolis gets some offense out of it. A kill attempt by Vorwerk. Back and forth volley. Kill attempt by Brown. And boy, I thought that one was going to fall. That was a nice dive by Hora. If she got hurt earlier, you sure can tell that it didn't hold her back on that one.
Right. Last year, Hora was our libero. So, yeah.
Okay, that would make sense. So Vorwerk back to serve for Mediapolis. The Bullets have a 14-5 lead, and that one just drops off for an ace serve.
Came off the arms of Sydney Black there for Highland. As Mediapolis is up 15-5 here in the second set. Mediapolis took the first set pretty quickly, 25-7, and they look like they're on the same track here for the second set, unfortunately for the Huskies.
The ball, Vorwerk gets it over. Stokes passes it. They're getting some offense. Number 17, Harmstrand has a kill attempt on the Mediapolis side. Brown tries to put it down, doesn't fall. Back over to the Mediapolis side. Back set by Edel to Mockholz, and that drops for a kill.
Comes off the arms there of Jenna Dresselhaus, tries to get a hand on it. That was a pretty good hard hit by Mockholz, and Dresselhaus gets her hand on it, and it comes flying back at us for another point for Meepo. So
Sarah Vorwerk still back for the Bullets with the serve. Passes by Highland, and number 6, Davis, tries to put it down, and Mediapolis gets one hit on it, but then it falls, so side out for the Huskies. And back to serve will be Sydney Black for Highland. They trail 16-6. Olivia Allen, serve receives, gets the ball to, and this time I would have guessed it was Mediapolis in the net, but I believe they called
Brianna Davis. She used that block there, and it kind of came off the hands of Brianna Davis and Harmston. And Highland was there for the defense, but the ref said that Davis was in the net.
And I would have sworn it would have been Mediapolis in the net on that one. So nice serve reception there by number 22, Stokes, but the ball drops. Maybe some communication problems there, perhaps, because that was a nice,
I think that was
nice
really
pass that she had.
That was all right on the net, though. Dresselhaus couldn't quite get into it.
I was probably looking down to see what her name was and missed. And there's a
The referees are talking. I almost thought it dropped right down straight on the net. Dresselhaus for Highland jumped. Mac Holtz and I want to say it was Whitty both jumped for Mediapolis, and the ball kind of rolled straight down. And I don't think the referees really, they kind of want to call over, but they also want to say that it dropped on the Mediapolis side. So let's see what the call is here. We have the Mediapolis captain now talking to the referee, trying to figure out what happened.
Well, they're giving the point to
at first they said it was Meepo's ball because they were saying Dresselhaus reached over, but it dropped on the Mediapolis side. So if she reached over and didn't touch the ball and it dropped on Meepo's side, it would be a side out for Highland.
So Davis back to serve for the Huskies. Back set by Edel then. Mockholz tries to get the ball down. It hits Davis, but then it rolls out of bounds for a side out for Mediapolis. That gives the Bullets an 18-7 lead. And Brianna Eberhardt back to serve for Mediapolis. So quiet in this chat.
I don't think the Husky parents like what they see right now, so there's not a lot of cheering from them. There's definitely more Husky parents here tonight than Mediapolis. Mediapolis being one of the farther schools in our conference, and it being homecoming and senior night, so a lot of parents here. But when Highland is down by 10 points, you're not going to hear a lot of cheering from us, unfortunately.
Served by Briley Carolyn. And I was looking down for her name.
That's all right.
And
Massner with the line. Massner with the line hit there, and it came off Carolyn's arms and went sailing out of bounds on the Mediapolis side for another point for Meepo. Meepo up 19-8 here in the second set.
Monica Edel serving for Mediapolis. Pass there by Black gets a little bit too close to the net. The setter, I want to say Davis can't get to it, so it drops.
Meepo up 20-8 now. Edel with the serve for Meepo. Carolyn to Dresselhaus, and Davis puts it over for Highland. Edel with a back set by Vorwick and a kill by Whitty for Mediapolis. Mediapolis up 21-8 here in the second set. If you're just joining us, Mediapolis took the first set, so if they take the second set, they will be up 2-0 here in the game.
So Highland is getting some offense out of this one. Number 22, Stokes attempts to put it down. It's put back over by Mediapolis, but Highland gets it back. That was a good hustle on Highland's part. Back set once again by Edel, and Whitty puts it down for a kill. So that's 2 kills in a row for Kendra Whitty.
Whitty starting in the middle there, and she comes around for a cross, or every school or every team, I guess, calls it differently. You can call it a cross, you can call it a swing, a slide, whatever. Goes from the middle to the right side for the kill.
So Horace serve receives it there, and they get some offense again back to Stokes. She tries to put it over. Blocked over, I want to say, by Vorwerk.
Yep.
Falls.
And we have a timeout by Coach Rath as the Mediapolis Bulldogs are up on the Highland Huskies 23-8 here in the second set. Meepo once again taking the first set. If they get 2 points before Highland gets 17, they will take the second set.
And with rally scoring, that's really hard to do.
That is really hard, very hard. So we're going to go ahead and finish off the rest of our sponsors that we stopped at. I stopped at Ruth McCready Construction, Riverside Feed and Grain, and Bud's Meat Market.
I have Hawkeye Petter Shop, Serve Pro, and Two Rivers Bank and Trust.
People's Bank and Trust and Savings, and Stransky Concrete. You can go ahead and read the rest of yours. You got a lot more left.
B&B Construction, Agraway Partners, Mediapolis Athletic Boosters, SG Construction, Main Street Tire, Standard of Beaverdale, and I will stop now because Edel's back to serve. And number 22, Stokes kind of flat foots it over there. Mediapolis running around trying to get some offense out of it. It comes back to the middle hitter, Stokes, and boy, if she just missed hitting that corner by about 2 inches.
2 inches. So, and this is game point for Mediapolis here, 24-8.
In game 2, and again you're listening to Kim Scheitlen and Sam Whelan, and that one goes down for the final point of the game. Mediapolis wins that one 25-8. And Mediapolis might want to, get out of here early tomorrow. Mediapolis was selected as one of the teams by WQAD. So the pep rally is at 6 a.m. tomorrow in the morning. So for any Dogcast listeners, if you turn on Channel 8 tomorrow, I would think for their morning news that one of the teams that will be spotlighted is Mediapolis.
Awesome. And we're going to start the third set here as Whitty serves for Mediapolis. Briley Carolyn with the attempt, comes off the block of Meepo. Edel outside with the hard hit by Masner. Highlands there, the Hora to Davis, to Carolyn in the back with a line hit. Eberhardt's there to Edel. Back row attack by Whitty. Highland's there, and Sydney Black just gets it over the net. Whitty to Edel, outside to Massner with the hard hit and kill. Black dives and gets her hands on it, but it goes straight into the ground. So Mediapolis starts this third set off 1-0. Couple hard hits by Meepo. Highland there a couple times and just can't quite get there for another point for Meepo.
And both games with Whitty starting the serving, it seems like Mediapolis has gotten off to a good start with 7 or 6 point lead.
Absolutely. And as we're talking here, Stokes with the hard hit, but Mediapolis is there. Brown tips it over. Carolyn to Stokes. Stokes tips it over. Edel with a quick hustle gets it back over. Highland scrambling. And Davis puts it in the net, and both teams are pushing it back over here for a scramble. Mediapolis gets it back over to Highland. Eberhardt to Edel. To the back row to Vorwick. She pushes it over. Hora to Davis. Davis pushes it deep. Whitty to Edel. Outside to Mazur with the hard hit off the block. Beinhardt's there. Davis outside to Hora with the push back to Whitty. Whitty to Edel. Outside to Massner with a nice attack. Beinhardt's there, puts it over. Eberhardt's there to cover Whitty. Stokes and
what a volley.
Eberhardt pushes it over, and Stokes is there at the net and pushes it over in a spot where Mediapolis isn't. And a side out, I'm gonna take a breath for a minute.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. I was gonna mention earlier that was such a good block on Stokes' side. I wanted to bring that up, but it's that volley went on forever and ever. So Horace serves, and Kara Whitty serve receives. Allie Massner pushes cross, but Highland's going to get it. Gets actually tried to get pushed across by Black. We're going back and forth here. Massner tries to put one down the line, but the Huskies dig it and get it over the net. Eberhardt to Edel, back sets it to Brown, which wasn't really a great back set, and she tried to do something with it, went out of bounds. So a lead for Highland, 2-1.
Absolutely. Hora here serving for Highland. Ball is up over. Eberhardt with the pass to Edel, outside to Brown with the hard hit, goes right in between the block of Carolyn and Stokes and down for a kill. And if that would have closed that block, I'm going to say she would have been blocked, but they weren't closed and she got a nice kill. Masner now in the back for Mediapolis to serve. Ball is up, over, comes off the hands of Carolyn to Black, outside to Davis, who punches it over deep.
Good placement.
And Whitty was pulled in on that, and Davis punches it deep, and it falls in the back deep corner for a point for Highland.
Olivia Allen comes into the rotation for Mediapolis.
I'm going to get this out and say this really quick. Highland is up 3-2.
You predicted that. You never said when the lead might change, and I'm hoping.
That's true. Carolyn in the back to serve for Highland. Ball is up and over. Allen with the pass to Edel, outside to Brown with the hard hit, and comes off a block of Davis. Davis with the great block there. Brown trying to go up for a line hit, and Davis is there and puts it right back down on the Mediapolis side for another point for Highland, as they're up 4-2 now here in the third set. Carolyn in the back to serve for Highland. Ball is up, over. Whitty there with the pass to Edel, outside to Brown with the tip because her timing's off. Black to Carolyn in the middle of Stokes. She pushes it deep. Allen's there to Mackholtz to Brown. Comes off the block, so that is a point for Mediapolis there. Comes off the block and goes sailing. So that's a side out and a point for Mediapolis, as Amy Schneblin is coming to do some back row playing for Briley Carolyn.
And we haven't seen her yet tonight, have we?
She is not. This first time she has came in tonight.
Okay.
Vorwerk serving for Mediapolis. Hora to Schneblin to Cindy Black with the kill. Cindy Black making an attack right in the middle and gets a kill for Highland and gets that side out right back quickly. 5-3 in favor of the Huskies here in the third set. Mediapolis took the first two sets 2-0 up in this game, but here in the third game, Highland is up 5-3 as Harmston now enters the game for Beinhardt. Stokes to serve. Allen to Edel. Back row hit by Whitty. Stokes is there to Schneblin. Outside the Black, pushes it over. Vorwerk to Edel. Tip by Mackholt. Black is there. Davis, back row attack by Hora. Sends it deep, doesn't quite snap her wrist enough, and sends that sailing out of bounds as a side out for Meepo, as they are only down 4-5 here, which is in favor of the Huskies. Brown now serving for Mediapolis. Ball is up, over. Black sends it right back over to Whitty. Whitty sends it over. Harmston puts it down, but Meepo is there. Whitty once again puts a nice soft back over. Hora to Schneblin. Outside to Cindy Black with the line kill. Vorwerk gets a hand on it, but Black hits it too hard and she can't handle it and gets a kill for Sydney Black.
And on the positive side for Mediapolis, negative for Huskies, Black and Stokes are both in the back row right now, and those are probably some of your leading hitters.
Hora with the save for Highland. Stokes back to Hora. Hora rolls it deep, and it drops about 6 inches behind the out-of-bounds line. So that is another point and side out as Eberhardt comes in to serve and play back row duties for Mac Holtz. And also Massner comes into the front row for Allen for Mediapolis. Eberhardt in the back to serve for Meepo. Ball is up, over. Black with the pass to Schneblin, to Hora. Eberhardt there for the pass to Edel, outside to Massner. Massner uses the block. Black is there for Highland. Schneblin back to Davis. Davis with the hard hit, but crosses it just too much and it goes out of bounds. So we are now tied 6-6 here in the third set. Mediapolis did not like that Highland was up in that third set, and they've came back and taken the lead.
They've been some really hard hits.
Highland's finally getting some offense going around.
I think so too.
Absolutely.
Really handling the ball, and there has not been one ace serve as compared to the other game. There were more ace serves, so they're really doing some good serve receiving. Back set there by Edel to Whitty.
Edel to Whitty, and Whitty tips it over, falls right on top of the block. Hora gets her hand on it. Highland scrambles and can't get it over in 4. We now have Eberhardt in the back, still serving for Mediapolis. Ball is up, over. Stokes to Schneblin, outside to Kelsey Hora. She puts it down. Eberhardt's there. Edel outside to Massner. Hits a nice line shot there, and Davis doesn't quite get over enough, and Massner gets a kill and a line shot for another point for Mediapolis. Mediapolis now up 8-6 here in the third set.
And this is the longest we've had anybody serve for the whole game, because it seems like this game's just going back and forth, side out, side out.
Absolutely. Eberhardt with the serve. Black to Schneblin to Harmston, and her timing is off just a little bit, and she sends it right into the net, kind of almost a swing and miss, and puts the ball into the net. Another point for Meepo.
I think she was thinking about how much she was going to kill that one, and she really could have.
Eberhardt with the serve. Black. Hora hustles to try and save it, and that's almost an ace serve. If Hora wouldn't have got a hand on it, she tried hard. That
Good
was
hustle.
A nice hard serve by Eberhardt.
Mediapolis leads 10-6.
They're also up in the game 2-0. We're in the third set here. Eberhardt with the serve for Meepo. Ball is up, over. Harmston puts it right back over to Whitty. Sets up Whitty, and instead of Whitty killing it, she just drops it right next to the net and puts another point for Meepo. As Coach Rath calls a timeout for Highland. She's going to take a timeout now before this game gets out of hand, and hopefully gets her Highland Huskies back on top as Mediapolis is up 11-6.
Do you care if we run through some more sponsors?
Go ahead, finish yours
off. Give you a breath here, chance to breathe. Main Street Tire, Standard of Beaverdale, DuPont Pioneer, Blues Auto Sales, Federal Mogul, Brewer Agency, Wright Electric and Travis Wright, Iowa Land and Home, the Filling Station in Yarmouth, and Schrock Lumber.
Awesome. I have another score update here, a conference one actually. Winfield Mount Union won game 1 over Waco 25-18.
I'm surprised it was that close.
I am too, actually. I was just thinking that same thing. Springville won their first 2 sets over Lisbon, 25-9 and 25-7. They're getting ready to start their third game, kind of like we are. Central Lee won game 2, 26-24 over Burlington Notre Dame. So they are now tied 1-1.
So Eberhardt back to serve for the Bullets. Gets the ball over, and that was Black, wasn't it? Davis, sorry about that. Free balled over by Highland. Monica Edel has a back set to Kendra Whitty, and it goes down and falls for a kill.
Whitty has a nice slide there, starts in the middle, slides around to the right side, and puts down a kill from the set from Edel there. Mediapolis up 12-6. Eberhardt still serving for Mediapolis.
Seems like she's been back there for a while.
Absolutely. Ball is up, over, and that was a nasty curveball slash floater. The way that thing came in there and just dropped.
Kind of like the old-fashioned serves when they're up in the air and they're used to bullets coming at them all the time.
Eberhardt once again with the serve. Davis to Schneblin, to Hora. Eberhardt's there to Edel, outside to Masner. Masner puts down a line, but Stokes is there, hustles. Schneblin hustles and saves it. Bailey Harmson tries to get in. That was a great hustle by Highland. They were clear across on the other side of the gym, chasing each other, trying to bring the ball back over. They get it over the net, but they send it out of bounds.
Good kill attempt by Hora, too. As small as she is, you've mentioned earlier, she has a good vertical leap, and she's to be reckoned with at the net.
Absolutely. Yep. Eberhardt with the ace serve off Bailey Harmson's arms. Another point for Mediapolis as they go up 15-6 here in the third set. Here at Highland High School, we have the Mediapolis Bulldogs versus the Highland Huskies. Eberhardt still serving for Meepo. Ball is up and over. Stokes to Hora, outside to Davis, and Davis hits the net, gets it over, takes it off the hands of Whitty, and drops on the side for Mediapolis as Highland finally gets a side out.
That was a long serve there. Eberhardt took over the serving duties when Mediapolis trailed 6-5.
We have Carolyn coming into the front row now for Schneblin, as Schneblin was doing some setting duties in the back row. Carolyn in the back.
And is Davis back to serve right now?
Davis just puts a serve over. Eberhardt to Edel, to Whitty, tips it over. Davis back over for Highland. Edel tips it over. Hora hustles and gets there. Carolyn gets it over the net for Highland. We have Verwick to Edel, to Masner, hits it over hard. Cindy Black is there for the dig, but sends it out of bounds. So that's another side out and point for Mediapolis as they go up 16-7 now here in the third set. As Edel, the setter for Mediapolis, is now coming back to do some serving. Ball is up, over, Black to Davis, outside to Carolyn, comes off the block. Eberhardt's there to Edel, outside to Masner with the hit. Stokes is there. Davis to Hora, hustles and pushes it over. Edel to Vorwick, outside to Masner. And Stokes is there with the great dig, one-handed dig to Hora. Carolyn tips it over. Whitty is there. Eberhardt's there to Masner. Black is there for the dig. Brianna Davis pushes it over. Edel to Vorwick. Davis is there for the dig once again. Carolyn to the middle of Bailey
Another
Harmson.
long volley.
Timing's just a little off, and she puts it into the net. That's a long volley. Great defense by both teams. Good hard hits by both teams as well.
Nice dig, was it by Stokes? That was one-handed dig there.
It popped right up perfectly to the setter, too. As we have Edel back serving to Black, to Davis, to Hora, who gets it pushed over. Eberhardt to Edel, outside to Masner, puts it down hard. Black is there to Hora. Harmson puts it down hard. Edel is there to Vorwick, who tips it over. Hora dives and saves it. Davis to Harmson, and Harmson puts it in the net. And that time, Davis's set was just a little low, and Harmson had to hustle quick to get it in. And just like that, Rath is taking another timeout for the Highland Huskies as Mediapolis is up 18-7.
I feel like I need to help out, but it's hard to even... You're doing such a good job. I'm enjoying just listening.
That is all right. No, in basketball, it's a little bit easier. It's a little slower pace.
And so softball, it's really easy.
Oh, I'm glad I coach softball. I don't think I could do this for softball. It'd be a lot of downtime talking back and forth.
And usually I do the softball by myself, so it's not so bad. I guess plenty of time to go through the sponsors. You can do that between pitches. And I think baseball is probably the worst because that's when the pitchers are always trying to pick off the runners and that.
I can't even watch baseball, so I don't know if I could broadcast for baseball, I'll tell you that much. But Mediapolis is back on the court already, waiting for Highland to get done with their timeout. If this keeps going the way it is, folks, we're going to be off the air here pretty quick. Mediapolis is up 18-7 here in the third set. Mediapolis took the first two sets pretty quickly as well. Eberhardt serving, dropping it short. Hora's there, though, to Black, to Carolyn, who puts it down. Edel is there. Vorwick, back row attack by Edel. Davis is there. Bailey Harmson, and she tries to set up Carolyn in the middle.
I thought that was a good set, too.
They're going to call Harmson for 2 hits there, saying that it came off one hand and then the other when she was trying to set.
I didn't really see much spin. I thought she did a nice job.
Edel with the serve. Black to Stokes, to Hora, who pushes it over deep. Eberhardt's there, though. Edel with a quick to Whitty. She tips it. Black is there with the great hustle. Hora pops it up, and Davis puts it
nice
over. Nice hard hit by Davis there, but Whitty's right there to block it and put it straight back down on the Mediapolis side as Mediapolis is up 20-7.
I was trying to see if who leads the team actually in blocks for Mediapolis. Block solo throw is Kara Brown. That's surprising. I don't think we've seen as many from her tonight as perhaps other Mediapolis players.
All right, we have Edel still serving for Mediapolis. Ball is up, over, Black to Davis, tries to punch it and punches it way outside, and Carolyn can't handle it to get it back over. And another point for Mediapolis is 22-7, and Edel still serving.
Still serving. The way this game started with all the side outs, I thought I was going to run out of paper, but now with the last two.
Serve to Black to Davis, outside to Carolyn. She tries to poke it over, runs into the net or into Vorwick's hands, whatever the rest want to call it. Nonetheless, it drops on Highland's side for another point. 23-7 in favor of Mediapolis right now.
We're getting close to that match point.
Eberhardt with the serve to Black. Davis sets up Hora. High set. Hora's there for it though. Masner to Edel, and they're going to call Edel for 2 hits now. So Edel tries to set up Masner outside, and they're going to call Edel for 2 hits, give a side out to Highland. As Stewart was in the back row, she comes out, and now Murphy Beinhardt comes in the back row for Bailey Harmston, and Allie Stokes is now in the front row. Murphy Beinhardt with the serve for Highland, and she puts it in the net. And that is one thing you don't want to see with the score this way, is you definitely have to get your serves over. As this is game point for Mediapolis. Whitty with the serve. Ball is up over Hora with the great pass to Davis, and Davis just dumps it over instead. Whitty to Edel. Edel with the quick to Brown. Brown pushes it over. Hora's there to Davis, and then Stokes pushes it over. Whitty, the back row. Whitty to Edel. Edel tries to do a quick from Brown, and Brown sends it sailing out of bounds for a point and side out for Highland. So Kelsey Hora here is going to have to serve 15, 16 points.
We need to sign up for Mediapolis because I predicted 25-9.
Oh, look at you. And there it is.
Oh, hey,
look at that. So we had a serve there from Carolyn, puts it over, and a pass by Eberhardt to Edel with that slide once again from Brown, this time for the final kill of the set and of the game and of the night. So like you predicted.
What was the pattern there? 25-7, 25-8, unfair 25-9.